the evaluation technique we used, maybe the cohesion and the separation parameter we used for the validation. So same tools you can use it for the evaluation of individual cluster and objects. Okay, to their specific values. Cluster and its object, we can rank individual clusters according to their specific value of cluster validity. That is cluster cohesion and separation. A cluster that has high value of cohesion can be considered the best as compared to the low value cohesion. Okay, so cohesion plays a very important role in the case of the validation. Any cluster, individual cluster I am talking about, any individual cluster which has the high value of the cohesion, so we consider this as the best cluster, best as compared to the low value cohesion cluster. If cluster is not cohesive, so in that case, what we can do, we are splitting into the several subclusters. On the other hand, two clusters are relatively cohesive, high cohesive, so merge into one. Okay, object that can contribute. Okay, so now we are coming to the object of the cluster, that is a point, you can call point in the cluster. So object that contribute more to the cohesion and separation are near the interior of the cluster. Okay, so if it is contributing more to the this cohesion and the separation, so we can take it as a, so it is the interior of the cluster. So the particular object we are taking it as a interior to the clusters. Those object which opposite is true are probably near the edge of the clusters. Okay, so some of the points are there. So they are contributing very less cohesive as well as to the separations. So such a object we are taking the near the edge of the clusters. So based on these ideas, to evaluate points, cluster and entire set of cluster we are using. Okay, so one technique we are using, that technique you can call it as the Silhouette coefficient. So we are using by making use of this. So if the object is giving more cohesive and the more separations, so we are considering at the center of the it is object, center of the cluster. So if it is contributing less, so we are considering the particular object near about the edges. So by making use of these concept, so we are evaluating the clusters. The one person, the scientist uses this concept in order to evaluate the individual cluster and the object. So that scientist name you can call it as the Silhouette coefficient. So Silhouette coefficient. Silhouette coefficient. SILHOUTTE, Silhouette coefficient. So in the case of the Silhouette coefficient, so he uses the three parameters. We will see what are these parameters. So in order to evaluate, the Silhouette uses the following three steps. The first one is very important. Please understand these steps. Then only you can easily evaluate the cluster and object. So if you are going into the deeper and deeper, so if you are evaluating the object of the clusters, so definitely the cluster produced is the best one. In the first case of the Silhouette, for the ith object, for example, you can take the cluster. You can take the cluster. So this is the cluster which consists of what you can do, simple one you can take. So I'll take this is the cluster which consists of 4 points. So this you can mark it as a ith cluster. So in the first step, what you can do, calculate the average distance to all other object in its cluster. So you need to find out from this ith cluster, ith object to the average distance of this. Okay, so average distance you need to find out between these, then find out the average distance of the this ith point from the these point. You can find out. So this you can call it as a, the first step is for ith object. Make a note, for ith object, for ith object, for ith object, calculate average distance. Calculate average distance, from all the object, from all the objects in the cluster, Okay, second step, in the second step, what you can do, so now you need to take this ith object. So this ith object, again, you need to find out the average distance from the other clusters. Okay, so these are the point in the other clusters. So from the ith object, what you can do, you need to find out the average distance of the all these clusters. So average distance of all these points in the other clusters. So you can mark this as the BI. Okay, this you can call it as the AI. So where AI is the average distance of the all the object from the ith point. Whereas BI, so for the ith object, what you can do, so from this ith object, you need to find out the average distance between the points in the other clusters. So you can call this as a BI, small BI. Whereas in the third step, in the case of the third step, for object, you can now, once you get the AI is a what? So this is the object, which is this is the average distance from the ith object. So this is AI is the average distance at the ith object. Whereas BI is average distance at the ith object by considering the points in the other cluster. So for example, if we have this, you can call it as a, this is the cluster. So here many clusters are there. So all these average distance you need to find out. Average distance you need to find out, like that. So average distance you need to find out. So assume that again we have this cluster. Okay, so here also this is what you can call it as our BI. So this is the BI. Okay, so this point, if you are finding average distance of the at the point I by referring the points in the other clusters, so we are referring this as the BI. Once you get the average distance at the ith point by considering the points in the this same cluster, whereas the average distance at the point I by considering the points in the other clusters. So you can find out now the Silhouette coefficient. So you can now find out Silhouette coefficient. So Silhouette coefficient you can obtain. So it is given by SI is equal to BI minus the AI. So we had already calculated the BI and the AI. dividing by max of. So whichever is maximum, either AI is maximum or BI is maximum. So that you have to take for the denominator. So by using this equation, the Silhouette coefficient, it is varies from, if you are calculating the Silhouette coefficient, it is varies from the -1 to +1. It is varies from -1 to +1. Okay, a negative value is undesirable. Anything, any method, any technique you take, the negative value if you are getting, that is undesirable, because this corresponds to the case in which AI is greater than the BI. The minimum average distance to points in other cluster, we want the Silhouette coefficient positive. So in order to get the positive Silhouette coefficient, generally we can use positive. So in that case, the AI is always less than the BI. Then only you can get the what you can call it as the positive Silhouette coefficient. For example, you can take the Silhouette coefficient. You can clearly understand by applying this to the clusters. The clusters, for example, you can take near about different cluster. I am taking. This is the one cluster. Okay, so this is the second cluster. This is the second cluster. Okay, so here these dark points are there. So wherever you can find the dark points in the clusters, they have less Silhouette coefficient. So less Silhouette coefficient. Dark points are less Silhouette coefficient. Okay. So if they are less, so hence the Silhouette coefficient is, so it is a minimum here. So Silhouette coefficient is minimum. So if you are taking increasing the dark point, so if you are increasing the dark points, so I will going to now increase the dark point. So again I will take 2 here. So 2 dark point I am taking. So slowly the Silhouette coefficient is so going to increase. Maybe you can find the Silhouette for this is Silhouette coefficient for this is 2. If it is only 1 is there, as I told, it has a less Silhouette coefficient. If more and more are there, for example, you can take this cluster, 2 clusters you can take. So this is the second cluster. So in this case, you can have, this is coming. So in this case, if more are there, more dark point, they contribute. So more and more Silhouette coefficient, maybe you can take this Silhouette as a 0.4. So like that, you can take, this is the cluster. Okay, this is the cluster. So dark points now increase. The dark points are increased in the both the clusters. So you can take, this is also having this. So the Silhouette coefficient may be going to increase from 0.4 to 0.6. So if they are more and more, and they are contributing very less, what you can call it as a Silhouette coefficient. If more dark points are there, so definitely the Silhouette coefficient is going to increase near to the 1. This is how you can find out the Silhouette coefficient. I hope you people are understanding. So this dark point is very less. So no doubt it has the less Silhouette coefficient. So if it is a, see, 2 are there. For single this dark point, the Silhouette coefficient is 0. So if you are go on increasing these dark points, so their additive will take place. If they are go on editing, so definitely what will happen? This strength of the Silhouette coefficient, you can observe here the strength of the C-load coefficient is go on increasing. Okay, this is possible with the help of this. If you are reducing the AI, so AI, we know that it is the average distance of the this point object I in the same clusters as compared to the BI. So where BI is the, so average distance of the ith point by using the points in the different clusters. So this is what you can call it as the C-load coefficient. This is the one of the best technique in order to find out the clusters. They clearly segregate from one cluster to the other cluster.